So we're here in the local Wetherspoons in Aberdeen, which is a chain of pubs in Great Britain, and we're enjoying some local delicacy called Tennants. And I'm here with two good friends of mine, Michael and Andrew. Uh, been going to more and more games with them recently, and I think, well, we're just having a beer and enjoying our time here. So why don't we ask them what they think about the game, because they follow Ukrainian football a lot as well. Why don't we start with you, Andrew? What's your prediction? Did him dirty there.
I think everyone's pretty confident today that Shakhtar will win, hopefully comfortably. That's why we came all the way up here, risking storms and all that kind of stuff. So fingers crossed. I mean, 3-0, 4-0, that'd be nice, as long as it's not tight. Then I think we should be all right.
What do you think?
Once you get past.
Oh, drinks have come. Beautiful.
Sorry, mate. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for today. I don't think it's going to be as much as a walkover as we're expecting. You know, yes, Aberdeen, what have they lost? 7, drawn 1 in the league. But when you come into cup competitions, it's a chance to. It's like a clean slate as such, isn't it? You know, teams are going to be a bit more confident. And people might judge Shakhtar on the Shakhtar Donetsk of 5-6 years ago. Do you know what I mean? You know, there's a reason that Shakhtar are in the Conference League and not playing in the Champions League, where they have usually been, or the Europa League for the past 15 years. Saying that, I think the style of football in Europe will suit Shakhtar. I think teams are going to come out and play football a lot more than they would do in the Ukrainian Premier League. Because in the Ukrainian Premier League, you get a lot of teams sitting behind the ball and making it frustrating for teams, and they can't play football. So we're hoping if Aberdeen can come out and try to play the football that they know they can play, it might open up a bit more for Shakhtar to flex their muscles and get a win. But I'm expecting a good game, and yeah, I'm just excited to be here on a personal note, and I'm happy. So yeah.
So now I'm here with an Aberdeen fan, Clark. So what do you think about the game today? What are you expecting of it?
Expect Shakhtar to win by about 4 or 5 goals, to be honest. Just we've had a really bad start to the season, and every time we think we'll turn the corner, it just doesn't get better. And I don't see us turning the corner. It's a team that can boast what they've got in their team.
Well, that's fair enough, but I feel a very pessimistic vibe from all the Aberdeen fans I've spoken to so far. But surely this is the kind of game when the boys will, show up. Aberdeen, it's a chance to turn around the fortunes in the season. Surely it could be one of the moments of the season like that for Aberdeen.
That's every game you hope. We've been hoping that's kind of case. Like we thought, like gets League Cup, Scottish League Cup, we would do well. Didn't happen. Every week in the league, we're like, oh, this is the easy game coming up. Doesn't happen, and just European football, just we did pretty well, but just didn't have it against the Europa League, and never in the Conference League. But guaranteed football till the new year, so we'll see what it brings.
It was time to head to the stadium. Pittodrie Stadium is located only about a 20-minute walk from the city centre, which is a very short travel time compared to many European stadiums I have visited over the years. Furthermore, very unusually for European games, the stadium only opened 1 hour before the game instead of 2 hours, which I found incredibly surprising, as I was wondering how they would get the fans into the stadium in time. In any case, this meant I had the chance to spend some time around the stadium. Now, every time I attend an away game in Europe, I have a small tradition, which is to buy a badge of the club that we play against in their club shop. I actually have a jacket with so many of these badges, and I think I should probably show it to you guys one day. I think it's a great way to keep memories from these matches. Many people don't know this, but famous Man United manager Sir Alex Ferguson gained prominence during his time at Aberdeen. Most notably, he won the Cup Winners' Cup and the UEFA Super Cup, the only 2 European trophies in Aberdeen's history up to date. Something that really surprised me in a positive way was just how nice all Aberdeen fans were. Unlike the fans of most other clubs, lots of them came up to me to just chat, have small talk, and wished me and Shakhtar a good season. I sincerely wish Aberdeen fans all the best for their upcoming season. It was time to head to the ground. I walked into the seating area and wow. The large 2-tier stand behind the goal made it feel like it's a really big stadium. but at the same time, it had this sort of cozy and homely feel, which is something so incredibly rare in 21st century. I've only previously experienced it at Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace play. And just look at how close these seats are to the pitch. It feels like the players are only an arm's length away. I was very lucky to manage to get a quick glimpse at our club legend and current sporting director Dario Serna, who at the time was having a conversation on the touchline. Look, I mentioned the closeness to the pitch quite a lot, but it is something I appreciate a lot, because in Ukraine most stadiums have running tracks, which make viewing the game a lot more difficult, and a lot of modern stadiums are also so far from the pitch. Being able to visit these authentic old school grounds is something I really appreciate about us playing in the Conference League this season. Aberdeen fans prepared a very beautiful performance. The big two-tiered stand had people waving flags, whereas the ultras showed the banners with the club's two European trophies. It was very impressive and made for a fantastic atmosphere. And then it was time for the teams to come on the pitch. It was a truly historic occasion, as it was Shakhtar's debut in the Conference League. Just look at how windy it was. Not the Ukrainian flags literally flying off our players. Now, Aberdeen have not scored a goal in over a month, and it seemed like Shakhtar should have capitalized on this poor run of form. However, we started the game very, very poorly. We could not create anything against Aberdeen's defensive formation, and it seemed like Aberdeen were ready to give everything to get a result against us. Unfortunately, Kawan Elias, our striker, touched the ball with his hand after the corner, and after a short VAR check, the referee gave the penalty to Aberdeen. I was hoping for a miraculous penalty save by our goalkeeper Dmitro Riznik, but the stadium went absolutely crazy. Just listen to this. Despite not being at our best, Igor Nazarina equalized at the very end of the first half. It certainly took some mental pressure off the team and allowed Shakhtar to start the second half with a lot more belief in the team. Something I really want to say is just how amazing our fans were. The club initially requested only 350 tickets, as Aberdeen can be hard to get to and Ukrainian citizens in Europe did not have enough time to apply for a visa to enter the UK, having less than 1 month between the league phase draw and the first match day. Well, we ended up selling 750 tickets and the noise was great. The support was very vocal, and just as I decided to record how loud our fans were at the time, Pedro Henrique scored the third goal, which essentially sealed our win. It was my first time seeing famous former Turkish player, and now our coach Arda Turan, in person, and he was amazing. Very passionate and emotional, and no doubt his energy helped the players turn this game around and win it 3-2 in the end. I really like that our manager, Arda Turan, gave game time to Luka Mireles and Izake, two very young Brazilian players who came this summer and who I rate very highly. Shakhtar are well known for developing and selling on very talented Brazilian players, and it is good to see Arda Turan giving them a chance in such a big stage, despite at that time it being a very close game. And here are my thoughts immediately after the game.
Well, Shakhtar never make it easy, do they? What a crazy game, what a crazy ending, and yeah, very windy Aberdeen. It started raining as well towards the end of the second half. Great second half. Really enjoyed that. I think Izake and Luka Mireles once again are proving to be those impact subs that can absolutely change the game. Um, After the third goal, I thought we could see out the game, but unfortunately, they had a really nice strike which hit the post, and then they got the rebound. So it's one of those things. Never have it easy, but at the end of the day, 3 points, and I'm happy with that. I'm sure most of you guys will also accept it. So I take the positives, and massive thank you to Aberdeen as well. Great stadium, and it's been fantastic. A fantastic experience to be here.
I then headed back to the pub after the game. There I've met a lady called Beth, who is Scottish and who got invited to the away end by her friends. She had a really interesting opinion to share, and despite there being very poor sound on my microphone, I thought I had to share it. I've included subtitles to make it easier to understand her.
I will say, so I'm a Inverness Cali fan, LR, and I've been to home and away hundreds and hundreds of times, but I will say that being there tonight is the most I don't know. I think it's like love that I felt. The most love that I felt in a club. It's genuinely the best away day, like being in the way end, the best away end that I've ever experienced. Just like genuinely, I've never experienced anything like that. Like notoriously, football fans don't really, female football fans don't really feel safe, but genuinely, like it's the safest I've ever felt as well. Like I felt like every single man around me would protect me, and then that's not normal to be in a away crowd. You know that, like it's so abnormal. It's the best. It was the best thing in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
It was absolutely unbelievable to hear such a positive experience from a person who attended their first Shakhtar game. A great testament to how fantastic and friendly our fan base is.
I'm currently here at the harbour, so this is the seaside, and basically where the area behind me is where the ships come in. I think that's sort of the control tower for them, and uh, I think a lot of city centres in Scottish and British towns generally look very similar. But I thought some of you might be interested to see this as well. So, as I told you, I'm kind of in an area of the local port, but if you walk around these cute little streets, you see that this is what an old fishing village would have looked like. So I think this one was built. There was a fishing village in this location since medieval times, and I just think it looks beautiful. You have these sort of small single-story buildings around, looking like that, looking absolutely stunning, very unique in many ways. And sort of in the middle, there's kind of like a courtyard here you can see, and people have like their own small huts where they probably store stuff and whatnot. Um, Very, very interesting. And to all the Shakhtar fans traveling home today, good luck because there's been a severe storm alert, which is not not ideal for us. So we'll see if the planes will even be able to fly, and if not, it's not ideal because we need to get home. But I guess if there's no flights flying out, that will give us some more time to explore Aberdeen and sort of these cute little areas like this. Just really beautiful, really like sort of places that have their own local charm and local vibe.
Me being a history nerd, I just had to pay Aberdeen Maritime Museum a visit. It was beautiful, very informative, and I would highly recommend it. However, unfortunately, by that point, I had to leave Aberdeen. It was an unforgettable experience on and off the pitch. Big thank you to all Aberdeen fans for a warm welcome, and I hope to be back to Pittodrie Stadium one day.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching my first vlog until the end. And I really apologize about the quality of the sound on some of the videos. I'm still learning my craft and hopefully I get better for the next one. I would really, really appreciate that if you enjoyed this video, if you could give me a follow and like this video. If you're also feeling generous, I would really appreciate a donation on my Coffee page, as I'm trying to fund these videos out of pocket myself. Thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you at the next video.